I hope you all have done the previous lesson very thoroughly of verb form part 1. If you all have done that well, then you will be able to understand this particular part 2 verb form ka lecture. Those who are watching it for first time and this particular lesson, please I ask you all, you go with the verb form part 1 lesson. Do that lecture well, understand it very well and memorize the 3 verb forms of the primary auxiliary verb and the action verb. Memorize it, the rules, and then come back for this particular class of verb form part 2. Alright. Now see, if you all have followed my previous lecture, by this time I am believing that you all have finished all the 6 forms of the verbs, that are the action verbs as well as the primary auxiliary verbs. That are 3 primary auxiliary verbs: to be, to do and to have. And action verb ka it is RV form. Alright, I hope you all have memorized all the primary auxiliary verb, and by this time you all know how to apply the formulas of the action verbs also. Now, in this particular lecture, we are again going to see the verb forms. These 6 different verb forms that we have: present, past, future, infinitive, present participle and past participle. We are grouping that into 2 verbs, that are finite verbs and non-finite verbs. Now understand this. What do you mean by finite? Finite ka in general the English meaning, the just meaning of the general meaning of English word of finite means limited, restricted. That means finite verbs are those verbs that has limited reach, और इसका application थोड़ा limited ही है. और एक finite verbs जब group करेंगे, you please remember finite verbs are only to use to tell about the time frame or just to tell you about which state of tense it is taking place and its aspect, like whether it is taking place in present tense, past tense or future tense. That is the reason why finite verb it is clubbed together. And under finite verb, the 3 group of verbs that comes under finite verb are present verb form, past verb form and future verb form. If you have learnt it by heart, the formulas, I think you all can beat me like this. Present verb form, action verb, RV, RVS. To be ka present form, am, is, are. Then has ka, has and have. Then do ka, do and does. So present form, you just memorize it. If you remember it, you can say that RV, RVS, has and have, do and does, and am, is, are. Past verb form, if you see, action verb ka hai RVD spell change. Was and were, had and did. That will be there. And future verb form ka it will be will RV, shall RV, will be, shall be, will do, shall do, will have, shall have. This is the way you should be able to memorize exactly what are the present, past and future verb forms. And this you can do it if you have attended my previous video lecture of verb form part 1. Now, this finite verb, you all please understand the application of finite verb. As I told you, finite verb का मतलब है limited range, उसका limited use है, and only to tell you about the tense or the time frame of the sentence we use finite verb. And finite verb is extremely important because without a finite verb you cannot make a English sentence. एक simple sentence में एक finite verb होना जरूरी है. Without finite verb you cannot frame a sentence. We'll see the application of it. I hope you all have understood the concept of finite verb. याद रखो finite verb tenses या time frame के बारे में बताते हैं. कोई भी English sentence without finite verb you cannot frame an English sentence. एक sentence में एक finite verb जरूरी. Only one finite verb is necessary. Now let's come for the next is non-finite verb. As the name suggests, non-finite. फाइनाइट अभी आपने समझा. फाइनाइट का मतलब कि लिमिटेड एप्लीकेशन. नॉन फाइनाइट का मतलब क्या है? अनलिमिटेड. यानी कि नॉन फाइनाइट वर्ब्स जो है दैट आर इंफिनिटिव फॉर्म, प्रेजेंट पार्टिसिपल एंड पास्ट पार्टिसिपल जो है वो अनलिमिटेड वे में वी कैन यूज. इट कैन बी यूज्ड एज वर्ब पार्टिसिपल, इट कैन बी यूज्ड एज एडजेक्टिव, इट कैन बी यूज्ड एज many other purposes like joining words, joining sentences, making sentences. There are unlimited use. And यहाँ पे other thing you can remember is non-finite verb you cannot frame a proper sentence. Means it doesn't, if non-finite alone is there in a sentence, it cannot make a sentence complete. It has to take the help of the finite verb. So non-finite verb other than tenses, it can just help you to tell about the part of a sentence, aspect के लिए help करेगा, लेकिन एक sentence को carry नहीं कर सकता है non-finite verb. And non-finite का tenses से verb से भी ज़्यादा other applications है, like adjectives है, gerund है, then to make sentences, synthesis of sentences, and all other purposes we can use this non-finite verb. So therefore that is known as non-finite, यानी कि unlimited way you can use. Now what are the non-finite verbs? The 6 verb forms में से infinitive verb form. What is the formula for infinitive verb form? Remember this, I had told you to by heart it in the previous video lecture. Infinitive, to plus RV, to be form, to have form, and to do form. Present participle, present participle का मतलब है ing होना चाहिए. तो action verb रहेगा तो RV ing, then being, then doing and having. And past participle, RV एक्शन वर्ब का आरवीडी रहेगा, रेगुलर वर्ब रहेगा तो उसका पास्ट पार्टिसिपल भी आरवीडी है. अगर इरेगुलर वर्ब्स रहेगा, देयर आर मेनी फॉर्म्स इट कैन, en से एंड होता है, n से एंड होता है, से एंड होता है, ड से एंड होता है, ग से एंड होता है, लाइक दैट. प्लीज डू वॉच द प्रीवियस वीडियो ऑफ वर्ब फॉर्म 1 part 1 if you are attending this lecture for the first time, and you will have to learn that verb form part 1 nicely, only then you will be able to understand this lecture. Again and again insisting, because if these verb forms are done well, you will find it quite easy to do more complex grammar topics easily. These are the basics or the foundation of the grammar. Alright, so you all, I hope you all have understood. See, verb forms, understand this. Verb forms कितने होते हैं? 6 होते हैं. That is present form, past form, future form, infinitive, present participle, past participle. वो जो 6 वर्ब फॉर्म्स को हम लोग ने क्लब करके फाइनाइट वर्ब में और नॉन फाइनाइट वर्ब में ब्रेक किया हुआ है. फाइनाइट वर्ब का मतलब क्या है? It is having a limited use, showing mostly only the tense part. Mostly it just shows the time frame of the sentence. And a sentence in English must have one finite verb. Without finite verb, you cannot frame a sentence in English. Now, the present verb form, past verb form and future verb forms are the finite verb forms. So learn all these present, past and future verb forms of action verb as well as state verbs. Non-finite verb, unlimited application are there, and there are 3, that is infinitive verb form, present participle and past participle. Alright, now examples, I'll tell you how it is going to be applied. You will understand it with examples. See the example one. She had been talking about it. She had been talking about it. Now, the questions can be asked in all different ways. Now, for this question, if I ask you, pick out the finite verb and non-finite verbs. In this, pick out बोले तो आपको लिखना है, निकाल के लिखना है. तो यहाँ पे had is the finite verb. So you have to write had finite verb, bracket में लिखने का past form. यहाँ पे be is non-finite verb and it is past participle. This I told you to memorize the to be form, to have form and to do form. If you remember, you will see that being is a past participle of be form. Talking, ing, rv, ing. This is present participle. So it is again non-finite present participle. This way it can be asked. Now this is one way of asking the question. Or simply, what the other way, see, if you understand the concept, however the question is asked, you will be able to answer. Suppose if the sentence is given this one, she had been talking about it, and they will ask you the question, underline the present participle. Now in that case, you have to rewrite the entire sentence. And what is the present participle you see here? Right, you understood it correct. Talking, ing, that is present participle. So you have to rewrite the entire sentences and underline the talking, that one. Now see the second one. I love to teach English grammar. In this again, if I ask you, pick out infinitive. This is one of the questions they may ask you. Pick out infinitive. What is infinitive in this case? What is the formula for infinitive? Right, to plus rv. See here, what is infinitive here? To teach. So this is infinitive. So you need to write the answer to teach. Go for the next one. We looked around for the broken glass pieces. In this, if they ask you this way, pick out the non-finite verb. Now, what is a non-finite verb in this? We looked around for the broken glass pieces. Now, you have known that yes, past and past participle ed is there. So looked one is there. So it can be past or it can be past participle. And there is another way, en is there. So broken. Now you all know that. What did I say just right now? In a sentence there should be a finite verb. In that case, ये sentence में finite verb क्या है? Looked. So this is a finite verb. So it is, this won't be non-finite. So what will be the non-finite verb? Broken. That is en form. So broken is a non-finite verb and its classification is past participle. I hope you all have understood this. Now see, another thing, one more grammar topic. I mean, this is it's how it is being asked is, they may ask you subject predicate, which this is a topic which I will be dealing it further also in another grammar lecture. But just with this knowledge of finite verb, I am just telling you. Certain times they might ask you, find out the predicate from the sentence. Now always remember, this is a tip, you understand it. Always remember, predicate always begins with a finite verb. So what you have to do is, in the sentence, whenever a sentence is given, always find out what is the finite verb. See in example 1, finite verb is had. So predicate begins from had been talking about and subject is she. So these two topics you can be able to cover up by just learning what is finite verb and non-finite verb. If you see the second sentence, what would be the subject and predicate of the second sentence? I told you predicate begins always with a finite verb. So I identify what is the finite verb in the second sentence. It is love. So predicate is what? Love to teach English grammar and subject is I. So in this itself you will come to know what for an English sentence, simple sentence, there must be one finite verb. और finite verb से हमेशा predicate begin होता है और finite verb के पहले जो noun या pronoun रहता है, that is the subject. See the third example. We looked around for the broken glass pieces. In this also, if I ask you pick out subject, now the question asked is only pick out subject. तो आपको instantly समझ में सोचना चाहिए, अच्छा subject predicate always begins with finite verb. तो सोचो finite verb क्या है? Looked. तो looked के पीछे predicate के पहले हमेशा subject रहता है. So what is the subject? We. So subject is we. This way we have covered up all the different possible questions. I don't know in how different way the questions can be asked in different places, in different boards and different regions. Basically you understand the concept of this particular grammar topic, then whatever the way the question is being put up, you will be able to understand. This is a very short lecture. I am just finishing it off. One more section of verb part 2 is there, which I will continue it after some time. You learn this concept. ये concept कर otherwise पूरा एक साथ एक mixture हो जाएगा. इसके लिए मैं continue नहीं कर रही हूँ. ये एक aspect समझ के लो. Finite verb, non-finite verb, application of these questions. Now जैसे ये lecture खत्म हो गया, now the lecture is getting over. Immediately there is a question answer session is there. जैसे question का paper आएगा, तो आप screenshot ले लो या आप इसको stop करो, video stop करके. Whatever you learn, the concepts you learn, try to answer all the questions that are given in it in your notebook, and then once you solve it, check the answer session. Okay, I hope you all have found this particular video lecture of verb part 2 useful and understanding. Alright, let me see you all then later. Bye.